My boob hurts.
Is that the start of the podcast?
I think it is. Hello and welcome back to the Alizee Yeezy Show. I'm your host, Alizee Yeezy, and today I'm joined by, guess who?
It's me again. I'm so sorry.
She can't get enough of me. I can't blame her, but what can I say?
Yeah, I just keep bullying her into letting me on the podcast. I'm like, please, this is the only thing I live for. You have to let me on.
We should today, let's just jump straight into doing the weird would you rather questions, because I mean we meant to do that in the last episode, but then we were just chatting too much. So
Yeah, we're just such interesting people. We have so much to say.
I know it's not my fault I'm such a good conversationalist. It's not my fault I can't stop bloody talking. Let's just crack on. Let's go straight into it, yeah?
Okay.
Would you rather have a permanent clown face or a permanent clown voice?
Can I start this off by saying I made a TikTok ages ago where I did like aesthetics I hate part one, and I never did a part two, and I put clown core. Right.
What's clowncore?
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's people like dressing like clowns, like clown aesthetic.
More like John Wayne Gacy.
No, not quite. You know, like, but like vibey kind of clown stuff. And I think I don't like it at all. But like, it didn't blow up or anything. But to this day, I still get comments on it. People being like, "Oh, well, you're just boring and miserable." And I'm like,
Why?
okay,
Because you
I
don't like
just don't,
clowns.
because I don't like clowncore. But people took it so seriously. That's the thing. I just made this like quick little and actually it was vaguely directed at one particular person who I dislike. So it was kind of like a TikTok subtweet, sub talk.
I love
But
that for
I
you.
thank you. I don't think she ever saw it because I have her blocked. But anyway,
Why are you like me? We're too alike.
I don't usually block. No, but the thing is, I've actually like interacted with her, so she's an awful person. Anyway, so clown voice. What is a clown voice? Like high pitched or like like that kind of thing.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. Um, what do clowns sound like?
Honk. No.
I guess they're like
Yeah. I guess I would go with clown face because then firstly I can join the clown course that like I can pretend it's on purpose, but then also like for work I need to be able to speak and I can always edit my face out of it, or I can just like, it'll be a thing people come to, they'll be like, oh, there's the weird clown girl, like, the aesthetics kind of make people click, but if the voice is off-putting, people aren't going to stick around and I don't have the option to not put myself in it. So I'm going with the face.
so many routes you can go down as well, because you could be like a Joker, or you could be like Pennywise.
That would be fun. Yeah.
You could be a
Also,
horror clown, a sad clown, a happy clown. There's a lot. I feel like there's a lot more variety.
could you put makeup over it as well? Or is that not allowed?
I thought that like it just would be like permanent clown makeup. Do you know what I mean?
But like put like Estee Lauder double wear on top of it or something. You know, clown be gone.
I think that would be cheating. I think you've got to, because
Okay.
you can't modulate your voice really. Or could you? Could you like edit your voice in? But what is the voice sounding like? Is it just like, because clowns don't sound like they just have that honky thing. But what do they
Yeah.
sound like? Why don't we know what clowns sound like? Well, we're not 5 years old. Why are people interested in clowncore? Are they 5 years
I
old? I
think
don't get it.
they're like the hey folks, so that kind of voice.
Oh, I could do that. That's fine. That would just sound like you're taking the piss all the time. Like Goofy or something.
But
Oh
imagine trying to call
gosh.
customer service. It'd be awful. They think you're like pranking them.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're conflicted, I see.
Well, could I be like a sexy clown? Let's see.
Please
Sexy
don't Google
clown.
sexy clown.
I'm
You're gonna
Googling
get
it.
some weird porn. Is clown? Yeah, it is a thing. Why am I about to ask you? Is clown porn a thing? Everything's
Clown
a
pause
thing.
100%. Yeah, they like when they jizz. Um, oh, new erotica. I'm so writing that. Yeah, there are sexy clowns. Okay, I would be a sexy clown. That's fine. Like with sexy makeup. Yeah, fine.
I'm sorry. I need to see sexy clown now. Same.
If you Google sexy clown and go all the way down, there's a girl with it's a drawing from DeviantArt. She's got like multicolored hair, big boobs, small waist, sexy clown.
I'm just
But
getting people
ignore the
in.
yeah, that's just the women dressed up.
Oh, Jesus, the man with the Mickey Mouse ears. Oh, I see the DeviantArt one. Yeah.
Yes,
So that's
I would
your
just
plan.
yeah, I'd just be a sexy clown. That's fine.
Okay, well, I'm happy for you. So we both picked the face. You know, you don't have to wear the clothes, but are you going to in this situation?
Um, it'd kind of be weirder if not, because I feel like if you saw someone with clown makeup on but no clothes, that'd be strange. But if they had the full get up, you'd just go, oh, they're going to the circus. That's fine. That's normal.
But I think it would be kind of funny to see like a clown in like a tracksuit.
Or a business suit.
No, it feels too on the nose, you know? Like it
Ah,
feels like it's probably been done.
I'd be no good at this. Oh, on the nose, would you have to like have the big nose thing? Because I'd hate that.
I You could probably have it painted.
Just paint, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The big nose thing wasn't even a consideration in my head. No big noses. We're not doing
Okay,
the
doing the
I'm glad
what?
we sorted that out. Doing the nose. Having the
Oh,
nose.
fine. Okay, good. Because I don't know, like, do you get comic relief over in Ireland? Is that a thing? Comic relief?
As a concept.
Well, just when like every year they do the show with the bear. Like, what's his name? Pugsy? I don't know. And they're the red ball things that you put on your nose that you can buy, and they're so uncomfortable.
I've heard of that, but I think I've only heard of it from like your channels. But when you said comic relief, I thought you meant like just like the act of or like the idea of comic relief. I'm like, I mean, yeah, we have a sense of humor. Like,
Doubtful, doubtful. No, it's a yearly charity show thing. That celebrities do. There's a little bear. It's quite cute. Anyway, permanent clown face.
we're in agreement.
Okay. Okay, fine. Would you rather be able to breathe underwater or walk through walls? Oh, I already know what you're gonna say. Go and say it.
What am I gonna say? Tell me. You could see me getting ready to go. I know.
If I could walk through walls, I'd walk through the wall of a bank and steal all the money.
No, actually, which although now that you say it is a better one. I was gonna say breathe underwater
Oh, why?
because I love water. It's the only thing that actually makes me feel calm, like is the sea. So I could just like live my dream of being like a Kanye West gay fish, and it would be fantastic.
I really thought that you'd go for the walk through walls thing.
Well, now that you mention robbing a bank, but then like the thing is that no, because they still have me on the security camera, I don't have like I'd have it's still too dangerous, and then you still have to walk through the bank. It's not like they just have an outside wall where you go in and all the money's in that wall. Like you still have to get through other walls. Somebody's gonna catch you. You don't have any other superpowers.
Plus, would you even be able to? It's just you that can walk through walls. Can you take objects with you? Because like, what if you have the cash? You walk through the wall and the cash is gone because it's fallen on the other side.
With that idea, wouldn't your clothes not come with you?
So maybe you're just naked walking around, walking through walls. This one sucks. I don't like that.
I'm going with breathe underwater. I'd be so happy. My depression would be cured like instantly.
I like breathe underwater as well because then I won't drown.
That is a plus. Yeah. Also, I really want to swim with a whale. This is like a big dream of mine. Have I talked about this before on this podcast where I was looking up like how to go swim with a blue whale specifically? But it was like really dodgy and they wouldn't tell you like the location. They would just come pick you up and I was like, this feels like human trafficking, actually.
No, you never mentioned that. Don't do that. Tell me more.
I'm not gonna do that. I don't feel like getting trafficked. But like if there was a way to do it that was legit, I would love to like maybe not necessarily swim with a blue whale, but like be in a and like you know when you go with sharks and you're in a cage, like
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
Hmm.
It would be like the happiest day of my life. So if I could
Hmm.
breathe underwater, then it's perfect.
Yeah, Atlantis. You could find Atlantis, and then what? Um,
You could be the person who found Atlantis, you can write a book, you can do interviews, you can like sell the rights to your movie.
Oh, but I heard something very horrible that apparently if you're in salt water for more than 3 days, all the salt basically like your flesh just starts coming off your bones.
So what happens when you get buried at sea?
You just dissolve into the salt, I suppose.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Does sea salt water dissolve you?
Well, you don't have to be in water for 3 days. Like you have to sleep. You need food.
Okay, okay. You'd be like a mermaid then.
Yeah, this is my dream. You don't understand. This is what has to happen in my life. So does it melt off your bones? Did you look it up?
I googled it and then it said something about can you separate the sea from the salt? And I was like, I'm not reading this. Stupid
This is
idiots.
not useful information.
Yeah, it's not useful at all. God.
We're looking for like if you're in the water for 3 days straight, will you turn to mush?
I'm so sure I heard that. So like if you're shipwrecked, you're kind of and not just from all the sharks or the wildlife.
Well, wouldn't you die of dehydration first anyway?
Well, besides that, like say you had some water, you're still gonna like your bones are gonna, I don't know, like I don't know, or something gross like that. Maybe I made it up. I don't know.
You might have.
Breathing underwater, yes, 100%. I
Okay.
agree. I agree with you. Easy, smashing it already.
It's like it's supposed to be something we're agreeing on when we can actually disagree. Just trying to convince each other.
But it just makes more sense. Walking through walls thing,
Mhm.
you're right. It doesn't mean your clothes, because if you're clothes, then surely other things you're holding, but it doesn't seem like it makes sense. And also, what is it really that good for besides robbing a bank? If you could walk through walls, what is that genuinely good for besides
Yeah.
theft?
The only other thing is like if you're running late for a train.
Ooh.
But like it's not that useful compared to breathing underwater.
Yeah. I don't get the tube frequently anymore, so it don't really matter. And also the tubes come like every 2 minutes, just wait for the next one. It's not a big deal. But if you can breathe underwater, you're not gonna drown. Imagine someone's trying to kill you and they're holding you underwater and you're like, ha, idiot, you know?
He doesn't know my secret. You just pull them down as well. Got your revenge.
This is perfect. It's the perfect murder weapon. Being able to breathe underwater.
Exactly. Perfect alibi as well. It's like, no, he was trying to drown me. I didn't do
Yeah.
anything. He just drowned.
Would you rather have a unicorn horn or a dragon tail?
They would both be so highly inconvenient. Well, would the dragon tail be like dragon sized or would it be relative to my body?
Relative to your body, for sure.
Okay. Because like I feel like a dragon tail is the size of a human, right? So that would be kind of
Yeah.
I feel like I'd have to go with the tail. Because if you have a horn on the top of your head, presumably it's a little bit sharp. You're just gonna break things all the time or stab people. It would be really inconvenient.
Uh, yeah, it would ruin all of my hats.
Hmm.
Um, when you're washing your hair, like that's gonna be you're gonna spear yourself at some point when you're washing your hair if you've got a big horn. Also, how big is this horn? Because like if you're taller and you're going somewhere that's like low, then you're gonna be bumping your horn onto things.
All the time. That would be
But
so annoying.
a dragon tail, like if it's relative to your size, but it's still like a good thick chunky tail thing, you could use that to like, if you're a bit tired, you could just lean back on the tail, kind of like a third
Like a little
leg in a way.
chair.
Yeah, like a stool.
Oh, that would actually be kind of useful then.
Yeah, you could hit people with it.
You could hit, but like you would still be hitting things accidentally with the tail, but I feel like it's less destructive than something that could potentially stab somebody.
And you're more in control of your tail as well, like the way cats control
Mm.
theirs. You can't really control a horn, it's just stuck in a straight line.
Yeah, you just have to remember not to ever nod your head. You could never headbang at a concert again.
Be a massacre.
Oh my God. Be a good news story though.
But if you wanted to kill someone, I feel like having a horn is quite ineffective because you're constantly putting your head forward and someone could easily bypass your horn and just punch you in the face. But if you've got a tail, you can trip people up rather than even notice them.
I don't know why this came into my head, but do you know we have this legend, Irish mythology or whatever, about this king who had donkey ears and he
No.
like tried to hide them his whole life. And I don't remember the full story, but I think he killed some people to hide his secret, like his hairdressers or whatever, because they would have to know. So
What's the point of that story? What's the moral
I'm
to the
just
legend?
imagining body parts, animal body parts on your body parts. I don't know.
No, as in why is that a story in Ireland?
I
Like,
I don't know. We have some mental story. Like one of our biggest stories is about the salmon of knowledge.
pardon? Go on, I'm
The
intrigued.
salmon of knowledge. It was a mythological salmon that if you ate it, you'd get like all the knowledge in the world or something. I'm like getting the story terribly wrong. It's been so many years since I've heard them. I don't know. This guy caught it and he cooked it, but it was for his like teacher or something, like the guy above him, his boss, whatever. But he burnt his thumb on the salmon and then he sucked his thumb because he burnt it and then he got the knowledge and then the other guy didn't get any.
And then what
So
happens?
I don't know, everybody died or something. I'll have to look it up.
In Japanese, there's a like fairy tale about someone called Taro, Urashima Taro, and so he's a fisherman and he sees that some like hoodlums are beating up a turtle. So he stops them and saves the turtle. And then the turtle rewards him by carrying him on like his back to this underwater kingdom where he spends a few days with a princess and he's just hanging out chilling. He's only there for a few days and the princess gives him this little box. She says, I think she gives him a box and then she says, don't open it. My Japanese tutor told me about this a while ago, so it's a bit fuzzy, but she gives him a box. Anyway, he's only been there for a few days. He's like, oh, I miss my family, so I'm going to go see them. Okay, bye bye. And he goes back. But 100 years have passed on the surface, and his family are all long gone and dead because they were all like sad that he just disappeared one day and never came back. And he's really sad. And he's like, oh God. So then he opens the box because he's like, I don't know what to do. Maybe if I open this box or something. And then the box turns him into a really old man. And that's that's it. And I was like to my tutor, what's the moral to the story? And she was like, I don't know.
We have an extremely similar story, and it is
Really?
like the most well-known like legend in Ireland. It's the one of Tir na Nog. And there's like different retellings of it, but like essentially this guy, he's in the little group. They're cool. They're cool dudes, whatever. I'm not telling the story properly because it'll take too long. Your one comes from Tir na Nog on a horse and she's all blonde and beautiful, and he's like, I'm going with her. So he goes with her. He's there for a bit. He misses his family, so he wants to go back, and she's like, you can't go back, you're gonna die, you idiot. He's like, no, I want to go back, I miss my family. She's like, right.
Did she say that in the official version?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she's like, right, you're gonna take my horse. No matter what you do not get off this horse. And
Mhm.
he goes. There's two lads. They're trying to lift this big stone. Actually, when he gets there, he realizes everybody's dead. It's been 300 years. So he's been there for a few days. It's been 300 years. Everybody he knows is dead and all of that. Two lads are trying to pick up this stone. He's this big, strong man. He's like, I'm going to help them pick up this stone. And there's two retellings of it. One is he gets off the horse. The other is he just falls off the horse trying to help them. As soon as he hits the ground, he turns into an old man and disintegrates and dies.
That is so similar to the
Hmm.
Japanese. That's interesting. Collective unconsciousness, or just people sharing stuff and stealing ideas from each other. Who
All the
knows?
stories are real. That's my theory.
Yeah, like there's this one folklore legend again in Japan of this woman who came down in some sort of weird sphere or ball from the sky, and she just chats to some fishermen, and it's obviously an alien, but okay. You know what
A
I
lot
mean?
of them
Like,
are like,
come on, anytime it's like, oh, they came from the sky on wings made of fire. What do you think that is? Do you think it's actual wings of fire, or do you think it's a ship? I've told you, haven't I, about my Christian bestie who I'm like slowly corrupting. Um,
mhm.
First by showing her what biblically accurate angels look like and like shocking her because she doesn't like that. And then I was saying to her, I think it's the book of Ezekiel, though I might be wrong. I was saying to her in the book of Ezekiel, he describes seeing a machine, a thing come from the sky, and the thing has like four faces, and inside are three people, and he describes for a whole paragraph what this thing looks like. And I was like to her, it's so clearly some type of like flying, like a helicopter or whatever. So there were aliens inside, and she's like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Ha ha ha, look what you are doing.
I just sow in seeds and see what grows. Would you rather be able to control the weather or the traffic? Huh?
What the fuck am I gonna do with controlling the traffic? That's so useless.
You don't drive, do you? I don't drive.
No, I mean, I'm supposed to take my test, but like, I don't have a car, so I can't practice. So I don't know. No, that is so useless. The weather, on the other hand, because it's gonna be raining for the next like 3 weeks nonstop here. If I need to go to Tesco, I can just be like, right, that's enough rain for the next hour till I get back. Right, you can start again. If I want a nice sunny day in December because it helps my depression, I can do that. If it's getting too hot, I can cool it down again. Be perfect. And I could do it all over the world. Like anytime I go on holiday, it's the perfect weather for that holiday. If it's a city break and it's too hot, no, it's not anymore. I fixed it. I could fix global warming.
There you go. I was about to say, like, you're gonna get to the part where you altruistically help with droughts in certain areas, or if somewhere's flooded, like when Hong Kong was being flooded, you stop that, all the people, all the crops that you could,
Mm.
help grow.
All the crops I could curse for the people who wrong me.
That is an option.
Yeah.
That is an option. You can go down that route. People might judge you.
Well, it's only for the people who wrong me. Like people as a whole, I'll help them, but like the bad weather has to go somewhere.
You've immediately, in like one sentence, become a vengeful kind of demigod of the weather. Like if we were back in pagan times, you'd be worshipped or
I
feared.
would. Yeah, no, worshipped and feared. They go hand in hand with the gods. I think I am the descendant of a god.
Which
So,
one?
one of them. I don't
I
know.
I feel like I'd like to be related to Anubis.
Why Anubis?
I don't know, I just always liked him. Like the way he
What
looks.
what does he do again? Is he death?
I think he is, or he's like the guardian of the underworld. Let's see. Google is our
Oh,
friend.
Underworld sounds right.
Anubis, also known as Inpu, INPW, JNPW, or Anpu. Okay, interesting. He's a protector of grades, guide to the underworld, and he's good. He's looking stacked in one of these pictures. Everyone's gonna have to just if everyone just Googles Anubis, it's literally the second picture that comes up on Google, and he's like ripped. Why? Like what furry has drawn this picture of Anubis looking angry and some would say sexy. I'm not those people, but some people might, and I won't judge them. Um,
Alizee a furry, confirmed for like I believe the second time during Podmas actually.
moving on swiftly. Yeah, controlling the traffic is stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like some people will be like, "Oh, that's great." Like maybe if you're like a
Or a,
trucker,
oh.
a delivery driver or something. But then like on a global scale, the weather is more interesting. And then again, I can be a demigod.
Though I will say, I would quite, does this control of the traffic include being just able to control other cars in general? Because I don't like traveling because I don't trust other people. So if I could like grind everyone else to a halt for an hour whilst I travel, get from A to B, that would be quite, I'd be more willing to learn how to drive because at the moment I'm very resistant to it because I just don't like other people on the road and I don't want to be around it. It's just too much negativity.
Mhm.
But if I could control the traffic,
If you're controlling the traffic, right, are you not then controlling people's free will? And at the same time, like, what if somebody is like, they're on the way to the hospital or something, and you've controlled this traffic and now they're not there anymore? Are they just dying? Like, did they just die because you wouldn't let them on the road?
too bad. I have to go to the hospital. My heart's stopping. I have to go to Tesco's and get some biscuits.
I like how you say I'm the evil, vengeful demigod.
I'm not vengeful, just don't get in my way. Well, they could always just get out the car and then just walk. God, lazy. Oh, no one wants to ever move anymore.
Oh my God.
No, controlling the traffic sucks. Controlling the weather is infinitely better. Do you know what I would do? I'd make it snow here because we keep getting threats, like literal threats from the weather people saying, "Oh, it's gonna be cold, it's gonna be snowing."
Hmm.
No, well, and I'm like pretty down south, but we hardly ever get snow ever. So I'd make it snow so much, have a proper good Christmas. Yeah.
You'd fix everybody's Christmas.
Yeah, everyone could have a nice Christmas. I'd make the snow. Well, actually, I don't know if the abilities extend this far, but if you could keep the snow like powdery, so it doesn't turn into like slushy ice after a day, that'd be great.
Well, yeah, you fix the weather conditions so that it creates that kind of snow.
I reckon that would have such a butterfly effect, though. Like I'm doing this, and then in 6 months' time, we have no crops because I've somehow.
Just for having a couple of days of snow now. You can fix the crops, you control the weather.
Hmm. 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 It's a lot of power, a lot of responsibility. I don't know if I'm responsible enough to be able to control the weather and make
I
it work
am.
for everyone. You reckon?
I mean, I just like the idea of having infinite power. So,
Of course. Dammy Dodgers have gone well small.
why, how big are they now?
They're just
Looks the
like,
same, doesn't it?
no, I swear they used to be bigger. Or maybe my hands were smaller.
I was planning to make some, and then I forgot. I had a big jar of jam and I needed to use it because I always buy jam, but then I don't eat a lot of jam. So
Hmm.
it's like, and what do I do with it then? I get like make cakes or something. But I can't believe that I thought, yeah, I'll do this to my hair. That's gonna look fine. I look like I'm out of what is the town in The Grinch?
Whoville.
Yeah, I meant to straighten it, but I got lazy. So it's fine. My life is very hard. I don't need to straighten my hair. Make it harder.
It is a difficult life, I must say. I don't know how you
Hmm.
find the bravery to get up every day and be you.
Oh my God.
Let's do one last one, and then we
Hmm.
can do the other ones. Let's do one last one. Would you rather have a tattoo of your ex's name or your enemy's face?
My enemy's face. My ex is getting nowhere near me.
Who would that be? Who's your enemy? My arch
I
nemesis
don't,
changes like every week.
yeah, I don't know who my enemy is. Who do I dislike? Most of
Everyone.
the people I dislike, like actually like really don't like are like YouTubers who aren't actually in my real life, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I guess I would have to have a YouTube, but there's no rule that says how big it has to be. So I would just get like a tiny little thing of their face somewhere obscure that you'd never see it. Like the size of a freckle and have it on my ankle,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's done. And it'll remind me every day what I'm fighting against.
Who yours would be that Illuminati person who I have no idea what they've done or who they
Well,
are.
no, she's not my enemy. I mean, like
No?
YouTubers I've interacted with. Like they're my
Oh,
enemies.
Trisha Paytas then.
I've never interacted with her.
I'm joking.
Why
I'm
would
joking.
she?
I know
She's
I
my
know you
enemy because
love
she
her.
won't interact with me.
I know you love her. Hmm.
Like, I don't know, like I'd feel like I shouldn't name names because I'm gonna start shit. But there's some people I don't like that I've had that to this day I'm like, I would genuinely like if we were, if it was a fair fight, what are they called in like boxing? The like a referee, but for boxing.
I think it's the referee.
Okay, well, if there's like a referee, like I'm not talking about beating people up, talking about having like a boxing match, but I would like completely destroy this person just out of pure anger.
Oh wow, yes, tell me who they are afterwards.
Yeah, you're just gonna be like, who the fuck is this? That's my answer.
Which
Mm.
ex? Tattoo of your ex's name. Which ex?
Are you asking me or yourself?
Like, can we just pick?
I would assume it's either your most recent or your most like prolific ex. If that makes
Hmm.
sense. If that's the right use of the word prolific, I don't think it is. So like the longest one or the most recent one, I guess.
A name is a lot less intrusive than an entire face. And I don't know who my enemy because my enemy changes. So is the tattoo, is it magical and is it changing every week? Because I literally have a new foe every single week. Who would my enemy be?
I think it's just who your enemy is at the time. So like maybe you'd end up with a tattoo of Joe Rogan. Are you friends now?
Ah, yeah. One week. That'd be good then for when like me and him are besties. But
Yeah.
it'd be bad for when we hate each other's guts. Maybe Joe Rogan. Is that cheating though? Because I am cool with him 50% of the time, and then he pisses me off. And
If he's your enemy at the time that you have to get the tattoo, then it's okay. But if you're his best friend at the time and you have to get the tattoo, then you can't pick him. It has to be somebody else.
he's not my enemy this week though.
So you can't get who is your enemy this week?
I don't know. I feel like I'm actually pretty chilled right now.
You?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not doing too badly. I don't know if it's because I'm just so lightheaded at the moment. Well, Ryan
Mhm.
Reynolds is always kind of like an arch nemesis of mine.
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh
Hmm.
no, Christopher Nolan. He's been pissing me off.
The director.
Yeah, he did Batman,
Didn't he do Oppenheimer?
Inception, Oppenheimer. Yeah, yeah. Tenet. Or Tenet.
What do you
That's what's made me an enemy of him. I just want to. I'm going to meet him one day, and I'm going to make him cry.
What's wrong with Tenet? I've never heard of it. So
Don't watch it. Don't biggest piece of such piece of shit. Oh my god, he's so up his own ass, and like he tried to make the plot as convoluted. I mean, the plot is illogical anyway, like reverse entropy. What are you talking about? But he tries to make it as convoluted as possible. So the average person goes, oh, do you know what? It is good. I just don't understand it because it's a bit too complicated for me. But like, it's like, no, he's relying on that. He's relying on you thinking that about himself. He's not like, he's so up his own ass. And I watched it twice, so I know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
there's a bit, there's a bit where like, in the beginning, so it's basically a time travel film. That's basically what it is, and they're trying to prevent like this catastrophe happening in the future, but doing it now. The best part of the film is Robert Pattinson just being in it. And there's a bit in the beginning where this woman, the scientist, is showing Washington, this actor, actually his name, showing him a gun, right? And did you know that what's his name? Was it John something Washington? John David Washington. He's this he's an actor. He's been in like he was recently in The Creator. He was like the main actor in that. He's the
Mhm.
child of Denzel Washington, so he's a nepo baby.
I
Which
mean, I've never
explains
heard of this man, so
he's all right in some stuff, but like wasn't that good in The Creator. And Tenet was just bad. Okay. So the scientist is showing him this gun and she shoots it, but instead of anything coming out the end, a bullet that's in the wall comes back and goes back into the gun because the bullet is basically time traveling backwards to go into the gun because it's already happened, but it's right. Um,
huh.
and when that happened, when I saw that, my insides shriveled up. I just felt like I could just feel the smugness of Christopher Nolan, like radiating from the screen. Like, oh, he thinks he's such hot shit. He pisses me off. Also, the sound, I could run about Tenet for a good 10 minutes. That's what we're going to do. Strap in. The sound mixing, it's one of those films where everyone is fucking mumbling, but
Oh
then the
God.
blah, blah, it's like on like 100 decibels. The sound mixing, god awful. The dialogue, everyone sounds as though they are responding to a different conversation.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't make any sense. It's just,
I
oh,
love how you're like, I'm so chill this week, immediately followed up by, Christopher Nolan, he pisses me off, and the movie's so bad, and
it is. It's so rubbish, right? And I went on Reddit to see what other people thought about it, yeah? And someone made a post on Reddit saying, you know what, all you guys are wrong. I've watched Tenet 10 times now and I can appreciate it for the masterpiece it is. And the top comment said, you've just Stockholm syndromed yourself into liking this film.
I've noticed that like a lot of pseudo intellectuals love to go into like the whole time travel genre, but they're not actually smart enough to do it justice.
It's hard to do it right because you do end up creating paradoxes. I feel like the best time travel story I've ever seen is Steins Gate, the anime. I feel like season one did it perfectly, you know. But like it can still be a bit. There was this Netflix show, spoiler alert, I'm not going to really get into it that much, called Bodies. And that's like a time travel. Essentially, it's about time travel. And there's definitely a paradox inside it that people on Reddit were getting really annoyed about. But like, it's not as if I'm such a stickler or like I love to criticize so much that it's just if I'm enjoying something, it's like, okay, well, that bit didn't really make any sense. Whatever, it doesn't need to. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the rest of it. I like how it's acted and stuff. Like, I can actually forgive a lot of things. But Tenet, he's so up his own ass, right? And I watched Oppenheimer. Yeah, I mean, it was fine.
I liked it.
It was 3 hours long. He did black and white for flash forwards because he just loves himself that much. It is just people talking and then an explosion happens, and the explosion was actually really underwhelming. The Mr. Beast did a video where he set off like 100,000 tons of TNT to explode a safe, and the explosion in that was better than the one in Tenet. Not Tenet, Oppenheimer. Anyway,
To be honest, I really liked that one because you had that like really quiet bit beforehand where it's just like
I liked that, yeah. Yeah, but
Which,
like when you watched it itself, like considering all the hype around it as well, like people really thought, oh, he's detonated an actual nuke for this one. But I saw people saying that, and I was like, what are you talking about, all of you idiots?
hardly.
um,
Oh Jesus, the shite people come up with.
and my friends, because I was ranting, like fully ranting about Christopher Nolan to one of my friends, and he was like, yeah, very arrogant man. One of my friends who's in the know, who's worked in films, said very. So
You
I was like,
needed to
okay.
mention that bit first and not to say one of my friends agrees with me.
And one of my friends in the film industry, well, actually, a few of them have just validated it very. And it's like that's fine. Make good films, but then like Tenet is it was too far. You know, he lost it. This has nothing to do with. What was the question?
What was the prompt?
Would you rather have a tattoo of your ex's name or your enemy's face? Yeah,
how did we get here?
I will have a big tattoo of Christopher Nolan like on my back. I don't care. Fine.
Oh dear God. Sometimes I think our brains, they kind of bounce off each other in a really awful way. I think this relationship is toxic.
You know how a lot of people, when they do podcasting, they forget that they're talking to an audience as well. So they end up saying heinous shit, right? I have the opposite thing. I'm very aware this is going online. I just really don't care if someone wants to get offended on behalf of Christopher Nolan against me. Like, okay, whatever. Like, he won't spit on you if you're on fire. Behave.
I mean, I keep forgetting as well, but it doesn't make me say anything differently. I just forget. And then it's like, oh, I need to stop talking shit. Actually, I need to like have a proper structured conversation. That's the difference. Let us know your answers in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think. Let me know if you like Tenet or if you think I've gone too far and you're going to unfollow me because I'm not sucking on the teat of Christopher Nolan and his mediocrity.
Beautiful.
That was horrible. I'm really sorry. I'm not sorry to you, Chris. You know what you've done to me. I saw Tenet twice, for fuck's sake, twice.
Why did you watch it the second time?
Because I don't know.
At that point, it's your fault.
Because it was a cinema thing. My friend hadn't seen it. I was like, yeah, I'll go and whatever.
Okay. Still your fault.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Spotify and iTunes, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.